So welcome, my name is Dean Ramsden. I'm a therapeutic energy healer, and this is episode 2 on a series I'm calling Fundamentals of Relational Energy Therapy, and basically going over what is essential in terms of my version of a therapeutic system for working with clients and helping them either heal from the past or create a better future for themselves, a more advanced and evolved future for themselves. So let's go over some of the basics. Now, if you're an experienced practitioner, you might want to skip this, go on to the next episode. But for beginners and intermediate people, this will give you a context for my approach, and also to see how perhaps the skills or techniques that you've learned in other systems fit in to a therapeutic model. So let's begin. And the very basic is energy healing is vibrational energy, vibrational healing of some kind. And as Tesla is often quoted, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So this puts our work in the context of a greater view of the universe, not just a physics point of view, but a view that encompasses many different aspects of human experience. Human consciousness can be defined as the transmission and reception of vibration, where we form relationships both with inner and with outer forms of life. So in addition to the vibration, we have relationships, we have connections, we have flows of energy that move between us and others, but also move internally, are connected internally to us. Now, of course, it starts with the earliest forms of vibration in uteri, in the mother's womb, where we're first surrounded by her energies and, of course, family energies. And those impact us tremendously. We know this through research, psychotherapy research, and those energies have to be dealt with in some way as we mature and become adults, because often they get stuck. They access parts of our heritage or part of our humanity, part of our personal growth, where a stage gets stuck or a stage gets impacted by very early energies. Now, after birth, we add in the various interactions we have with our family members, with obviously mother, father, perhaps siblings, other family members. So ideas and ideals are created, the way the world should be, the way I'd like it to be. Memories are experienced. And those memories, whether they're accurate fully or not, still impact us in our development. So we, as vibrational beings, we have to factor in the impact of the past and whether that past lingers, whether it stays with us and forms a sticking point for further development. In addition to the stories we create, we tend to want and need to integrate everything into a narrative, everything into a workable narrative. How we feel the world is, how it should be, what it's doing right now, those are built from our workable narrative, our consensual reality. And of course, if we're not in a consensual reality with others, we have our own world, we have our own perception of the world. There's always a concern for mental illness, schizophrenia, and dissociative conditions that make it even more difficult to be healthy and transition through various life stages. Now, as many of you know, these stories can be interpreted, these narratives, these experiences we have can be interpreted through the monomyth of the hero or the heroine's journey. And this is a mythological perspective put in place by Joseph Campbell, great mythologist. And in examining the world's mythologies, Campbell came up with the hero's journey, and we can call it the heroine's journey too. It's gender in non-specific, I think. We'd all agree on that. That there are cycles, there are stages to our narrative, to our story, and to the working through of different stages on our life's journey, whether that's an initial excitement, what Campbell would call the call of adventure, the goal you want to create in your life, or whether it's meeting a mentor, meeting an important teacher, meeting someone who sees in you what you're trying to develop in yourself. Then there are various tests and crossing of thresholds and struggles with beasts and various challenges until we return. We return to our starting place, and we have changed, and we have experienced something that has changed our energy field, changed our very consciousness. So at the end of each journey, there's a symbolic death, a rebirth, a new chapter starts in our life. So therapeutic energy healing takes into account where you are on that journey. Are you at the beginning? Are you at the middle? Are you at the end? Or are you struggling with some beast? Are you in the belly of the beast? Are you fighting with something that creates suffering, but also perhaps invites a transformation? That which you struggle with helps with your transformation. So relationship and where we are on the journey and how we move through that journey in a healthy way, in a transformative way, that's part of the model we create in our therapeutic energy healing system. Journeys begin, have a middle, they have an end, but then the new journey begins. Now that can be symbolically in your life. You've come to the end of a stage of development. You're looking now for the next one, the next opening. Of course, it could also be physical death, which spiritual teachings tell us again and again is not an ending. It's just time to find a new body, find a new incarnation, and continue your soul's growth. So let's look at different vibrational energies that support and guide this narrative, the creation of the narrative in the first place, that build and maintain our relationships with others. Probably a separate video on the hero or heroine's journey because it's very detailed and very helpful as a map to place yourself or place your client. And finally, of course, what I just mentioned, is there a transition going on? Is there a transition from the end of one life stage into the next? Or is it the transition, end of life, looking at completing a life and preparing for passage into the next realm of existence? Now, Western teachings tend to describe us as mind, body, and spirit. It's a nice three-way split. Western civilization likes threes, the Holy Trinity. But Eastern teachings see us as energy beings, see us as expressing ourselves over incarnations, over time, to grow, evolve, complete the past, eradicate karma, or the impact of past decisions, and of course develop into the healthy, evolved spiritual being that we can become. So when we look at the different definable models of energy healing that deal with vibrational reality, that deal with all of these issues, mythology, the healing stages, and of course physical health, the importance of either healing from a physical illness or condition, or just keeping yourself strong, keeping yourself vital as you move through life. So we could define 3 different models to study. So we have the original source material from Asia. The chakra system is based on much earlier maps of healing, of the energy body, the subtle energy body, and not only in India, but China, many places throughout Asia have different models, have different maps of how the subtle energy body functions and how to improve upon it or use it to transform or to heal yourself. So the original source material from Asia is vital to, in my opinion, to go back to again and again and again. And not only from Asia, but also the original source material from the West. So we're looking at medieval healing systems. We're looking at 17th, 18th, 19th century concepts in the West, work done in the West, in the magical traditions. The magical traditions are the West term for shamanic traditions. It's all in the same area. So for me, both original source material from Asia and from the Western world itself can be utilized, can be brought into a therapeutic model. I think it's a way of not only developing energy healing, but building upon the wonderful, magnificent work of the past. Now, of course, we also have a westernized version of chakra work, of the subtle body development, as it comes into the late 19th and early 20th century. For that, you can look at Woodruff, you can look at Ledbetter, you can look at the Theosophy and movement, you can look at early spiritualist church experiments and presentations of what the energy system is. And for us as modern-day healers, this is often the foundation of the studies that we are trained into, this westernized version coming through Theosophy, coming through these westernized versions of the original source. You could say it's a copy of a copy, so getting a little bit further from the importance of the original material. Now, the third way of, the third branch, if you like, is the New Age, the post-Theosophy creations. Now here, for the first time, we start seeing the addition of psychological material, how a chakra is not only simplified into nice little rainbow colors, but chakras are assigned psychological development. They're assigned functions that are not often found or ever found in the original tantric sources. That's not to say that it's a mistake, because everything is a remix, everything is a growth from what came before. So we're building on original material and branching out to psycho and psycho-emotional material and how the energy body can help us heal and transform ourselves using these very deep energy centers, powerful energy centers that we call chakras, that are fueled by nadis or streams of energy running between the chakras. But just so you know, the 7 rainbow-colored chakras is a very recent creation. It's very pretty. Emotionally feels very good to understand it, but you don't see colors like this in the chakras. So the Western model for chakras definitely comes out of Ledbetter's maps and books, and were developed as time's gone by. Now, this is all material that is now in the public domain. This Ledbetter's book, The Chakras, I believe, was published, 1927. So you have access to this material out of copyright issues, and now getting ready to be integrated back into a westernized model with some modifications to early 20th century thinking. So new models of chakras tend to bypass the elemental or the elemental worldview, where the world is powered by basic elements that interact with each other. Those of you who are astrology trained will recognize this, that you have your different elements that interact with each other, sometimes making life easy, sometimes making life challenging. So new models tend to bypass the tantric ideas, the magical ideas, the shamanic origins of how usually the chakra system is used. There are advantages to this because it allows you to focus on an interpretation of the chakra system, not only to help you heal or help a client heal, but also expand their consciousness. And one of the additions to that, of course, is the Hands of Light work, the Barbara Brennan material. I'm talking a little bit about this on my channel, so you can look at some of my thoughts around that. And the other main influence, of course, Reverend Rosalind Bruyere. And I also have interviews that she kindly gave me that to give you a sense of her viewpoint, her take on how to apply modern-day energy healing and integrate it, and in a way that it helps people and takes our whole growth forward. Relational energy healing actually keeps this psycho-spiritual model and keeps growing that material. But also I want to reintroduce the earlier shamanic, the earlier magical source material integrated in. Now, yes, is it going to be as easy as 7 rainbow-colored chakras and you just work your way up them? No, of course not. There's going to be a lot of study involved, a lot of hero and heroine's journeys involved as we all move through different stages of working this material, developing it, and then finding practical ways, helpful ways to share it with clients, share it with the world, help the world transform. So that's the goal, really, of a therapeutic approach that I call relational energy healing or relational energy therapy, that it brings together all sources, filters out what perhaps is not useful or up to date, and that, of course, is going to be your call. I make my choices, you'll make your choices as to what to keep in and what to not keep in. But a new synthesis that is therapeutically helpful is also helpful to the modern day person, the client that comes to you or the person you're trying to help. So in the next episode, we'll go more in detail to the chakras and the associated energy body anatomy that we're looking at with relational energy healing. And I hope this has been helpful, and thank you for listening. See you at the next episode. Bye for now.